You think you've got my number figured out? A motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine.
Welcome to the Monday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Monday. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Where do I even start today, folks? It's like several things just popped off in the news at the relative recent times. John Lithium, welcome. Moanep, welcome. Quad Bennett, Derry Bennett. Yeah, well, mainstream MAGA is the mainstream Republican ideology right now. The Lib movement against Zoran is starting to coalesce. I think so. I saw some new updated polling that seems to indicate that Andrew Cuomo is somehow managing to close a little bit. Now, I don't know if it's enough. I don't know if the Voltron movement is enough to take that away from Donnie, but we'll see. Harrison 2028. I hope not. I really hope not. They just need to let the progressive side of the wing to just take the lead for once. Nadia, welcome. Something about polio and lungs and being sick. That was for a different app. There's a Deciding to Win arc being set up, and it's filled with every single high-level dem strategist failure involved with it. Phenomenal. Oh, you have far too much faith. They'll just rig it if they really want to keep it from happening, and they can rig polls too. Yeah, I mean, it's more difficult. It's easier in the primary for the DNC to do stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, like polls. I've had this discussion before. Like polls in the aggregate is where we should go. Like trending of where polls are going. Obviously, these are new polls. So unless we see like a trend to continue, then we can say like, okay, well, something's happening here. Otherwise, if it's just one or two polls or recent polls, it doesn't really tell me much until you get to see the trend in the broader way of things, right? Ladybug, welcome. Polio's back. Anti-vaxxers are finally gonna land in wheelchairs and iron lungs. Oh, okay. I was like, well, I'm not very familiar with German, but like I kind of like got something similar about polio and sick. It's is wild. But yeah, I mean, hey, that's exactly where those anti-vaxxers are going to end up. That's exactly where those anti-vaxxers are going to end up. Howdy, howdy. All right, folks, let me get started because we got a couple of things. And then I get to get on out of here and play some video games, folks, because after today, I'm going to need it. So, folks, do all the things. You know the drill, folks. Check out my show on this space at Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Every Tuesday. Do all the stuff. There's all the links. Judgment-free zone. Let's do it.
Ken Klippenstein has been doing...
Have you been playing the Outer Worlds too? No, I just finished my second run through of Stellar Blade to make sure I get the endings. Oops, stop. To make sure I get all the endings, and there's the cat. And I'm also working on finishing Kingdom Hearts. So I'm pretty close to finishing the first Kingdom Hearts. And I can move on. I've also just got Cyberpunk. I know Cyberpunk 2077 has been out for like a long time, but I haven't played it. So I've started my journey on that too. So little by little, you know, we're making progress. I heard that without herd immunity, the decrease in immunity with age is more significant. I agree. I'm pretty sure that's true. I would confirm, but I'm pretty sure that's true. That is then supposed to make it possible worthwhile to get booster shots for things people usually haven't been getting booster shots for, like MMR. Yeah. No, this makes sense. This makes sense. Now's the best time to play Cyberpunk. Well. Ah, there goes my camera. Yeah, it's a bunch of journeys. Okay. Yeah. Ever since I got the ROG Ally, I've been able to try to get more of these games completed. And I don't need to like 100% them. I just want to know what happens, you know? I just want to know and go through the story. Last journey in a game was Dragon Age, and now I'm all Stardew Valley. Nice. I'm pretty sure I have Stardew Valley on my phone. Eventually, I'm going to get to the Hollow Knight series. I did buy Silksong. Anyways.
Really important reporting on...
just to be clear, like the video game conversation is going to be important in just a moment after we're done with this.
The FBI, on the Trump administration, and particularly on this issue of NSPM7, which is this directive that told like federal law enforcement to target views that they view are of the radical left. Anti-Americanism, anti-capitalism is what's listed, anti-Christianity,
yep,
extremism on gender, extremism I think on immigration was the other.
Yeah, gender extremism just means that you accept the fact that people are people. Some people are trans, some people are queer, some people are gay, so on and so forth. That's gender extremism. It's just accepting people. That's it. I watch a lot of people play. I am a big spectator, and Silksong is great and has the best music. I've played a little bit of Hollow Knight. I must admit, I'm not a great. It's difficult for me, but the music is pretty good. Even like I haven't played Silksong, but Hollow Knight music is great.
The one that's bizarre, it's so Orban, and so I mean, it's even just like Nazi extremism against the American family. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Basically means
Yeah.
patriarchal Christian family structures. So that's another way to say gay people.
Yeah,
like
of
what
course.
extremism on gender, okay, we know you're talking about trans people. Extremism against the American family, all right, then we're talking about gay people, basically, or anybody that has like a non-traditional kind of relationship.
Yep. Anti-vax up on everything, because even though most of these shots are supposed to last a lifetime, the anti-vaxxers are spreading it all around like wildfire, and the margin the immunity weakens by matters far more than when you're bloody swimming in it all. I mean, like, that makes sense. That makes sense, right? There's a reason why you would take, say, like an annual flu booster shot, because in theory, like, you'd be more exposed to flu, versus being exposed something to like polio, right? But unfortunately, that's not the case anymore. I believe you. I believe you. I would never thought extremism was an accepting word, but now I know. I would have never thought extremism was an accepting word, but now I know when it comes to that. Yeah, exactly.
And this is the concept of pre-crime that has been a part of, American life for a while, and surveillance, of course, by the FBI on civil rights activists for decades and decades, but like really codified and in its 21st century form and expanded upon in the modern surveillance state in the post 9/11 world via the Patriot Act. It's been essential to the construction of so-called counterterrorism, and it resulted in things like mass surveillance and what Edward Snowden was blowing the whistle on, etc. But it's bringing the more extreme surveillance tactics home. We saw that
always was the end
ICE
game.
is signing contracts, a flurry of them in recent weeks, including with Palantir, including with software that can read people's irises, and they're talking.
Yeah, I think it's Flock, if I remember correct. It's some dealings that has to do with like a company called Flock and something else.
Talking about using them at protests, which would be the implementation of what Ken has been writing about, the NSPM 7, treating anti-Trump protest and speech as essentially a national security threat because they're calling it left-wing extremism. And
they're doing this because they know that they're not popular. They know that the left presents resistance to them, regardless of how small or how big it is. They need it to be an existential crisis for the country. This is one way they are bringing the war on terror home. It's just the IDF tactics. Yeah.
And so Ken got a hold of this footage here. This is the FBI reportedly paying a visit to a person who went to a protest against ICE in Arizona.
Oh, I forgot they keep talking there.
Oh, I posted this on the Discord the other day. There's only one right answer here, and that is to not answer the door to the FBI. Okay, like, make sure. Okay, you have a Ring camera, you have a doorbell camera. Okay, this is a prime example, a prime learning experience example of what not to do. Okay, do not open the door for police. Do not talk to police, especially if you are innocent. Does that make sense? Do not talk to police at all unless you have a lawyer present. Never, ever talk to police, especially if you are innocent and you haven't done anything wrong. because talking to police, they're not your friends. That is a fishing expedition, okay? Every question, every line is designed to try to trip you up and get you on something, even if there is nothing. Never. I hate the fact that the foot jams ability. Never let them in. They can just word their way in. Yeah, just don't open the door. Don't open the door. Do you have a warrant? Is there something I can help you with? Let me talk to my lawyer, and then we'll see. You show me any because if they actually had a warrant, there's no need to ask, right? Like they would just bust down your door with an FBI team. Okay. So yeah. I keep telling people there's no effective resistance, which means it's not going to be a war, it's going to be a Holocaust. No, I disagree. I think there's more resistance than people let on. I think there's a lot of people that are not okay with this. It's just a matter of how many how many people are going to be willing to stand up.
Hey, my name's James. I'm James Keith. I'm with the FBI.
Hey, Miles. Nice to meet you, brother. Good. How you doing?
We came out here to ask you questions regarding a protest that happened on the 11th of June.
On the 11th?
Yeah.
What protest?
There's a protest out by the.
So the fact that they're even asking about this is like wild. Number one. Number two. Again, why is he why is he talking to these people? Do they has anyone seen any identification here that can potentially confirm whether or not these are actually FBI agents? Yes, your First Amendment. So like exactly. So they shouldn't be asking about protesting, first of all. Second of all, there's no indicators right now that these are FBI at all. I genuinely don't know who these people are, so I don't know why this guy's answering the door. Just be very, very, very cautious, folks. No shot. Who are these normal people at my door?
What protest?
There's a protest out by the country club in Valencia area. And we've been just basically going around asking questions for a few people that were brought up, and your name was brought up.
You've been going around wasting government money, is what I would say you've been doing in a pink polo.
So,
Okay.
let's see if you had a couple minutes to answer some questions regarding the protest that happened.
Yeah, where were you with?
I'm with the FBI. My name's
Okay.
James.
Yeah, you see, he should have led with that. And also, I don't believe you. Let me call like my lawyer and let me call the police. That's what I would do. Like, hey, I see these like strange dudes at my door. And they say that they're FBI, but I don't really know. Asking me weird questions. Can you send you send some, like, be as vague as possible too. Be as vague as possible. I have unidentified men at my door flashing what seems to be identification, asking me questions about protests or what. No, actually be very vague, so that they actually send somebody over. And contact your lawyer. Do not talk with police. Do not talk with the FBI. Do not talk with do not talk with ICE agents. Don't talk. Don't talk. Don't talk. Bipedal meatbag, welcome. He's white. The leopards won't eat his face. Seth Evans, welcome. That's funny because that was my first thought too. Call the cops on the alleged FBI. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Okay.
So I just want to know if you have a few minutes to chat.
Yeah. Inside?
Yeah, go ahead, too. Yeah.
Or, I got roommates. Can we do it out?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Good
we're not-
call. Good call.
Yeah, don't let him come inside.
They don't have a warrant. They don't have a warrant.
What a fucking joke. What is going...
Also, again, don't talk to them. There's no reason for you to be talking to the cops at all. to the FBI.
Apparently, Ken writes, special needs teacher Miles Serafini, 26, was watching. Oh, this was. Yeah, here it is. Special needs teacher Miles Serafini, 26, was watching a movie with his roommate when the FBI knocked on his door in suburban Tucson, Arizona last Friday. 2 special agents greeted him, introducing themselves only as James and Keith. They didn't offer their own last names, but they knew Miles's, as well as his home address, his social media handles, what car he owns, and unbeknownst to him, his political activities. We came out here to ask you questions regarding a protest that happened on the 11th of June. One of the agents said in the exchange captured on a...
Yeah, also, like, yeah, here's another thing. Like, these Ring cameras also, or these, it doesn't have to be Ring, but whatever. They have a microphone. You know that, right? Like,
Ring camera provided to me by...
You can talk to them from the Ring camera, from inside your house. And, you can tell them to go pound sand from the inside of your home. That's it. You can tell them to go pound sand from the inside of your home. Some people can't help themselves. They think they're safe and want out, and want to help out. That's so old school. The times are so different that safeness is pretty non-existent. Yep. Kirk and Science Monster, welcome. That's all they intend to use any possible answers to any possible questions they have. Yeah, it's a fishing expedition, especially if you're innocent. That's what I'm saying. Like, especially if you're innocent and have not done anything wrong, the best thing that you can do is not say anything. Like, why are these people asking you questions? Who cares? Like, who are these people? I just don't answer any questions at all. Do not talk to the FBI. If I was a cop, I would still not open the door or talk to them. Yeah, like, this is just known, number one.
Serafini.
Your name was brought up. That could be just by the tracking they have on everyone's phone.
Exactly.
At the protest.
The suggestion that his name was brought up puzzled Serafini, who told me he didn't know anyone at the protest, which he'd learned about from a post on social media. When he asked the agents how they knew who he was, they...
What I'd missed, so FBI agents visited the special needs teacher and started asking about protesting, and started about asking about his activities of protesting.
Wouldn't say. The one agent, Serafini said, later told him that they knew, quote, way more about me than I'd think. The exact scale of these FBI questionings is unclear, but I've heard similar accounts.
I agree. I agree with Michael Hassler. The reality is, like, we do have the numbers, and I don't think that, like, just because we can do these things, doesn't mean that it's a foregone conclusion, right? Like, that's my point. As long as, hey, I'm still allowed to say things against the government, right? I'm still allowed to talk about stuff like this. The Majority Report is still allowed to talk about stuff like this. There are multiple social media personalities. There's politicians. There's hosts, all kind of people that are still able to talk about, to talk against the government. And as long as there's that ability, meaning that you are still able to do things like this, the fact that all of you are here means that there are still people who disagree and are voicing that disagreement. Because if not, then none of this would be happening. If we didn't have this option right now, none of this would be happening. We would all be gone. We would all be gone underground, and that's it. GG's. But until that day, it is our job to keep doing this day after day after day after day, and we will keep standing up until we can't. So yeah, it's not a foregone conclusion that it's lost. There are still people who are doing things, who are standing up, who are speaking out, who are putting their bodies on the line. There are veterans out there protesting in the front lines, getting tear gas, getting arrested, getting beat by the cops. So, my point is, while things may look bad, it is not over. And I don't think it's productive to pretend like it is when it's not. Does that make sense?
Involving protesters in Portland and Chicago. The FBI declined to comment on Serafini's account, citing the government shutdown. Serafini attended an anti-ICE protest around the ICE facility in June so he could express his opposition to deportations, he told me.
Hell yeah.
ICE is impacting our community and people aren't happy, Serafini said. People see people around them being kidnapped and shipped away in cages and they show up to protest. It's as easy as that.
Yep.
The protest involved an estimated 300 people gathering near the ICE field office at East Valencia Road and South County Club Road in Tucson on June 11th. The demonstration started off peacefully but later became rowdy. As the crowd gathered at the ICE office, a smaller group of protesters began throwing objects, rocks, paintballs, fireworks, and smoke devices at what appeared to be security guards stationed outside the building. The guards responded with crowd control munitions. We never ended up playing this, but Jeff Merkley, senator from Oregon, had like some public statement basically saying that the Trump administration or people associated with them were staging protests or things like that to try to encourage a crackdown. Maybe can we find that? I would love Merkley's exact words, because it was a pretty incredible claim for a sitting United States senator to make. You don't typically hear those kinds of things, but I keep citing Trevor Aronson's reporting because it's so essential for people to educate themselves here. First of all, take precautions at these ICE protests. Bring a burner phone.
Yep.
I wouldn't bring your phone if you have the ability to cover.
Yeah, like there's all kind of stuff that you can use as cameras that don't involve you using your phone. Be smart, folks.
Your face. Don't bring any kind of weaponry that could be on you or anything sharp that they could try to get you on. I wouldn't, advertise you being there on social media, for example. Take precautions, and most importantly, be very aware of people trying to get you to take some sort of violent action. Because as Aronson reported, the FBI was trying this and had informants trying to stoke violence under Trump 1.0 during the Black Lives Matter protests.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is not new. The protests that I was at in the BLM protests, I think it was when was the BLM protest? It was a few years ago. It was a minute and a half ago. One of the protests that I was in, it was the police who started the riot by slapping a woman that was sitting down, and obviously this is a protest against police brutality, and the crowd, who was about to go home, by the way, witnessed a police officer, a sheriff, smack a protester, a female protester that was on the floor. She was just sitting down, and he smacked her, and that kicked off the riot. It wasn't the protesters who started that. Okay? That's right. Resistance is our shared burden, but also our strength. Yep. They started it in LA too this year. Yeah, this is common. This is a very known tactic by the cops. By the cops, whether it be the FBI or the local cops or ICE, whatever. Embedded provocateurs has been a very known tactic. I 100% believe that.
So Elon Musk's original hairline says, I cannot stress this enough. Never speak to a federal agent without consulting an attorney, ever. It is a crime to lie to a Fed. And even if you don't lie, people have been charged because the Feds may seem like they were lying. Never speak to cops, period. But this goes double for Feds, criminal defense attorney.
Yep. Yeah. And by the way, like, the Feds, if they really want you, okay, because, like, you know, obviously the FBI now is literally run by a podcaster. There's literally like it's literally run by a fascist podcaster, by a couple of fascist podcasters. So the FBI is not exactly like how it possibly could operate, because normally if the Feds want you, they usually come knocking at your door when it's already too late. If that makes sense. Also, police riot where they just start beating people down and cracking skulls without provocation. Yeah, that happened too in the BLM riots, or the BLM protests, where police would just start beating protesters. Yeah, I mean, there's videos of them beating this old man. Not that this is like... you could ask me which video, because there's so many of these incidents where they literally just beat this old man. There's other incidents more recently where they nearly trampled a protester to death with their horse. There's several videos of them just targeting the press with rubber bullets and seriously injuring members of the press, arresting members of the press, tear gassing members of the press. Yeah, this is definitely known. I'm from Northern Ireland. We went through decades of this. Laws are just loose rules that they can bend or break at their own convenience. Yeah.
Yes, that's another good piece of advice. Ask for a lawyer.
Yep.
Future Reactionary says, thanks for covering the story. I think it's important to note that most activists don't want to admit to being questioned by feds, but that silence on this front may lead to more behavior. Wet Ass Pelosi said NSPM 7 Bannon Palantir's involvement, the Supreme Court undoing the Voting Rights Act, a GOP operative buying Dominion voting systems, the Insurrection Act waiting in the wings. It's all lining up to make 26-28 mirror Russian elections. I mean, we have to be diligent in trying to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Organize, folks.
All right.
Now's not the time to sit down. Now's not the time to sit on the sidelines. Get organized, folks. Either start working in your local community, join your local DSA, or whatever organizing or organization that you want, that you have in your local area that does direct action. Whatever it is that you're comfortable with doing. These names are amazing. I know the IMers are something else. The Majority Report IMers are something else. Defends the U.S. press lies about the rest of the world, including Russia. Well, I mean, the press isn't exactly the best here.
Oh, we have breaking news here. Hakeem Jeffries endorsed Zoran. Oh. We'll get to it. I'm going to open up the phone lines and then let's get to that. Opening up the
womp.
Yeah,
man,
who
kicking and screaming, man. Like at this point, do you even want the? Would I as Zoran Mamdani want the endorsement of Hakeem Jeffries? I don't know. I think if I was Zoran Mamdani, I would say, like, respectfully, I decline this this endorsement. I'm good, thank you.
Literally, it's less than a day before early voting starts.
Well, that's the thing, is like he does it late because none of his donors can be mad then, because Zoran basically had it sewed up anyway.
Yeah. Opening up the phone line, 646-257-3920. 629 area code pediatric says, can I please get a shofar for my goodest and floofiest boy turning 10 yesterday? I got Ozymandias von Foof and Poopin when he was 6. You are really, really into the pet cutesy names. I respect it, committing to the bit. When he was 6 weeks old, and I don't know that I would still be here if it weren't for him. Here you go. Here is...
That's cute.
Your shofar.
That's cute. Yeah, Zoran will be needed next year. If Zoran somehow manages to lose this election, I think that Zoran should start like if he loses the election, he should start like making moves for other offices, like run for Congress or something. Because if he's not able to, then yeah. She was irrelevant at this point. Yep. I wouldn't want his endorsement either, honestly. I wouldn't want Chuck Schumer's endorsement. I wouldn't want Jeffrey's endorsement. I'm good. Zoran is doing just fine. And the fact that they Hakeem Jeffries decided to crawl out of the woodwork now is just wild.
Elemental Computing, do not talk to the cops unless you happen to have a lawyer representing yourself present. Yes.
Yeah, virtue signaling, basically.
Labor Guy, did you guys see the video of Ro Khanna saying that the Progressive Caucus members don't have to give their opinion on Israel?
I just saw Crystal's tweet about that.
Can you find that?
Yeah.
Ro Khanna takes money from David Sachs and does fundraisers with him.
But this is him being good.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. No, this is him telling...
Did I misread the...
Yeah. So it's him on Crystal Conference exposing, apparently, that the House Progressive Caucus had or has an official rule against taking a position on Israel-Palestine. Here's the...
Wait, but didn't the Congress...
Ro is fake. I agree. I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. Ro Khanna sometimes comes out like a broken clock, you know? Sometimes he says good things. Not a big fan. Mo and I think I said hello. Bruno, hello. Should I call Sam Cedar while pretending to be Sam Cedar? I'm pretty sure someone's done that. Although that would be kind of funny.
National Progressive Caucus come out in unison in terms of blocking arms to Israel? Am I making that up?
I mean, I guess let's see what he says.
Let's just, I'll read some, we'll take a call, and if you could find that for me before we play that, that would be great. I just don't want to spout off before I verified that. Calling from a 757 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Cody from Virginia.
Cody from Virginia, what's on your mind?
I'm looking at the basis for Hakeem's endorsement. It better make sense. I don't know. It's probably him just going with the wind because Hakeem Jeffries is an empty vessel that just goes wherever the wind goes and is an opportunist. And it is basically like he's just like an empty suit. Does that make sense? Hakeem Jeffries is like an empty suit. And he just moves about and wherever you want, whoever is, it's kind of a weird way of saying it, but like whoever makes money, whoever gives Hakeem Jeffries money, that's who gets to fill the suit, right? So basically Hakeem Jeffries is just a bunch of corporate donors personified. The same thing goes with all these corporate Democrats, right? That's why they all kind of sound the same and like have the same kind of faux vibe that just oozes fake, you know, just oozes being inauthentic. If they weren't crap, they would have never been allowed to take office. Yeah, an AIPAC husk, but like not just AIPAC, just like whatever, right? Whatever, like look at how many corporations support the corporate Democrats, and then just like the big the top echelon of the Democratic Party. That's who Hakeem Jeffries is. You mean AIPAC Shakur? That's kind of funny. BCAT, welcome.
Hey, I've been really trying to wrap my brain around how we got here, how people just, you know, they just don't pay attention to any fact finding. Mm-hmm. We don't pay attention to any facts. It's just, you can have a conversation online, or if you just read comments, whether it's Facebook or Reddit, and there's just people are just posting the most insane things, and there's no fact checking. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares because like we live in a post-truth world. Nobody cares. Okay, the only thing that matters is how much engagement you got on that nonsensical post, right? That's it. That's the only thing that matters. How much engagement you can generate for these companies. That's why they make their platforms where you presumably post all this nonsense, right? All these MAGA people and all these delusional people, where they post all these things on social media. Like that's the goal. The goal is to get as many eyeballs on it as possible. Doesn't matter if it's true. Who cares? What about truth? Doesn't matter. It does not matter. We live in a post-truth world, so we're not encouraged. We're not encouraged to actually do the whole fact-finding stuff. We're not encouraged to do the whole critical thinking stuff. We're not encouraged to do the whole media analysis. What you're reading, is that actually true? I don't know. Have you decided to look at who's writing the article? What is the article about? How is the article being framed? From what perspective? Who is the what are the leanings or biases? Because everyone has biases, including myself. Where do those biases lie? And can you get some sort of objective story out of what you're reading? This requires media analysis, and that just doesn't happen. There's no incentive for it. People get their news from memes and like 30-second shorts, because that's how bad our attention span has been. Grok is too woke for them. Word salad, no real quotes, and a bunch of surprise. He finally made a choice because no one knew where he stood for a good while to endorse him. I'm done searching. Yeah, I mean, like, that's exactly what I'm saying, Judgment. Is where the wind blows. Shoot, the art we enjoy has to be reevaluated. Thank you, Bad Lefty. What do you think about Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris running in 2028? Nah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm gonna be honest. A couple of people have made a comment. I'm not a fan. Some people are. I've heard rumors about Kamala Harris running with AOC. I don't know. Maybe can we let AOC take the lead? Can we get maybe like AOC to take the lead, or some other like progressive candidate? Please. Did you get the bit about Hakeem Jeffries being billed his entire career and being fired, being destroyer of progressive primary opponents? That doesn't surprise me. Wasn't he specifically made by and forged by Nancy Pelosi? Wasn't he specifically made and forged by Nancy Pelosi? I don't disagree. I'm pretty sure Hakeem Jeffries was designed and made by Nancy Pelosi, so that doesn't surprise me at all. Kamala should try for California, not president. I think that she should just hang tight. Clearly, based on what I've been reading about how she felt after the election, stuff like that, all just the misjudgment calls on some again, there's so many problems that happened with the 2024 election. I still think that the majority of blame for the 2024 election should go probably to Biden. If I had to do an assessment, I would say that the majority of the problems with the 2024 election and why Democrats lost probably lies on Biden. I would say a good chunk of it, not all of it, a good chunk of it. Will America ever elect a female president? It's going to be a minute, I would say. Not that it can't happen, because it can. I think it can. It's just a matter of like the candidate, right? If it was like an AOC candidate, a populist candidate that actually spoke to the working class, then I think that she would have a chance. Of course, she would have to overcome obviously like the inherent misogyny, the inherent misogyny of the country, the inherent racism of the country if she's a woman of color. Yeah, it's all going to play a part. But I think that if she's a progressive, a strong progressive populist who truly and earnestly speaks to the working class, I think she might have a shot. Come on, Eastona, she lost because she didn't distance herself from Biden. Yeah, no, obviously she also has a shoulder, a piece of the shoulder to blame too. She also shares the blame. It's not just Biden. There's a lot of factors here. I would say like the upper echelon of Democratic leadership, not forcing Biden out earlier when they knew that they were cooked from the beginning. Biden being too stubborn to not drop out, knowing he was cooked prematurely. Kamala running a terrible campaign towards the very end, by not distancing herself from Biden, not giving people an alternative, not just to Trump, but an alternative to the status quo, an alternative to the Democratic Party itself, the status quo of the Democratic Party. She refused to do that. So all of that, kind of just brought the whole thing down in flames in a very crucial moment, because it's not like she got blown out of the water. I mean, look at the amount of people the amount of votes. She lost by like 1%. I agree. Liz Bobby Cheney was not the person to campaign aside. Yeah, another blunder. The Tim Walz being again. Yeah, there's so many things that we can point to that happened, but I think the big part of it was Biden not stepping down and the really bad, poor campaigning at the end there. The content-free Brad Summer rubbish. Jesus. That's quite a rap sheet. Guy with a mean smirk. The White House rage is performative. Yeah, dude. Sure, bud. Repug foul play was probably involved. Maybe. But, I mean, she was a terrible candidate and did a really poor job at the end there, too. It's just not that... It's not that hard to imagine, you know? You can see my rap sheet? I didn't know that. Yeah, we can see it. See all the people you've been banned from. Bozy, welcome. Poggers! 2026 will be the bellwether for the capability for the GOP to cheat. Oh no, they're gonna try. Look, we're gonna look. It's already happening, right? This is the way that they're going to do it. However, they're gonna do a lot of different things at the same time. I don't know how, like, whether or not all of this works, or whether or not this is enough. But there's a couple of things that they're doing to try to move try to pull some shenanigans. Looney Tunes, welcome. When I tell the woke left to shut the F up, they are to shut the F up or they will go to jail. Thank you for your attention to this matter. P.S. I have another MRI scheduled in December. Another annual checkup. You can on Twitch? Yeah, we can see who you've been banned by on Twitch.
They just deny it.
Yeah.
I just don't know how we got here.
Well, we got here because big tech is there's this whole clip of Bill oh my God, the guy from Bo Burnham talking about how they're trying to like colonize your mind in 2019, basically saying like all of your free time they're coming for because
Oh
of
yeah, this is inherent to how social media works, right?
endless growth in capitalism,
Yep.
and because we have not broken up these massive tech conglomerates,
Yeah.
they need to constantly grow. And how do they grow? You never get off your phone. And if you're seeing a lot of inflammatory content, regardless
It's on
of
purpose.
the veracity of what you're seeing, you are more likely to be on your phone.
Yeah, and that's what they need. Look, folks, I've been trying to do my damnest to try to, plutocracy, autocracy, kakistocracy, all the ocracies, all blended in together. But yes, the plutocracy, oligarchy, autocracy, kakistocracy, like it's all blended together. It's all bad. It's all bad. I think I've been banned on Twitch, but definitely blocked by chatters. Yeah, there you go. Theocracy, catastocracy, like it's just so it's all a nice blend of just bad. Have you heard All Eyes on Me? I feel like I have. I've listened to Bo Burnham for a minute. I was jamming it to the other day. Make idiocracy fiction again. Have you guys noticed Catherine McConnelly being elected Irish president? It's only a ceremonial, but she has great voice for Palestine. No, but I kind of saw that was happening. I'm afraid I'm not very familiar with Irish politics, but yeah. Every capitalist economy is a plutocracy. Well, true. I try not to fangirl over Bo because I'm a basic white woman, but I do enjoy his work. Me too. I think he's done some pretty cool songs. Germany's going down the toilet too. It seems to be across the board.
And to look at it historically, like the media.
Anyways, where I was going with this is I've been trying to kind of work on that. By reading, by trying to stay off social media, trying to stay away from shorts content, has done a lot for me. Like if I'm on YouTube, I try to watch more longer content. But yeah, I've been trying to read at least a couple pages a day. It doesn't matter. This is a small book to start. But I've been trying to do that. I've been trying, by the way, video games, to capture your attention for, of course, this is not for everybody, but I'm saying it works for me. Video games, to try to catch my attention for more than 5 seconds and just sit down and enjoy a game for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour. Something that doesn't, something that A, takes away from social media, and B, captures your attention for a good amount of time. While playing some puzzles or whatever, will definitely do the trick. Panda Tacos coming in with a follow and a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Play Suzerain if you like political games. If you like political games and you want to throw back like it's 2001, play Red Faction.
Going back to the 1800s.
F Twitter,
where
I
it's
agree.
all, people, you have to have
Any
money
short content, honestly.
to have a printing press, so it's a capitalist enterprise. It was always extremely partisan back then, and often very inflammatory on bigoted lines. What we sort of are leaving, it was a time of monopoly and government regulation of capitalism, which is like, there's only a few channels because there's only so many airwaves you can fill up. In the radio, first on radio, then in television. and all that stuff was more buttoned down under the FCC and sort of. And
Cold
also,
War
our
theme, nice.
capitalism wasn't as crazy in the mid-century either, because
Yeah, go to the gym if that's your jam. Heck yeah, working out's good for you, or just small. Even if you can't do hardcore workouts or access a gym, take a walk in a park or something. Heck yeah.
There was a lot less inequality. Now we're seeing massive inequality, and the rich people once again own all of the media and control it, and that's what you get.
Yep.
There's not a. It'd be nice if billionaires were so enlightened
That doesn't surprise me, Looney Tunes.
they spent all their money on making sure the media was truthful. That's not. You look at the billionaires. Do you think any of them give a shit about that?
Nope.
Elon Musk. Anybody?
Well, they
Anybody
want to
think that?
manipulate the masses into creating their network state where they surveil everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
And they have.
Yeah.
I mean, they have at this point. It's gotten to the point to where average Americans, they
I
just
play
have,
my Switch on the treadmill like a psychopath. That's actually kind of genius, right? You get your game on, and you get to like walk or jam. Has Dumbo and is rarely won.
have no idea. They're not critically thinking. They're not fact checking. It's just people are going on and watching, they'll watch like this podcast, for example, not this podcast, but they'll watch their podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if their
Well, even this podcast,
fact checking,
we can't be right about everything. I mean, we can't be people.
Well, nobody can be right about everything, right? Like the point being is to have the self-awareness that you can get stuff wrong, and to have the self-awareness that when presented a new perspective or new evidence, right? A new perspective based on evidence, then ideally you would want to shift that original perspective, right? Like if I my entire life believed that the sky was yellow, right? And then it was provided evidence of how like the light bounces off and whatever, how light works and refraction or whatever, and that actually the sky is blue, then I would be like, oh well, obviously now I understand that now the sky is blue. Therefore, thanks to that perspective change, then you should change your opinion on things. But yeah, most people don't really do that. They think that they are right. I unfortunately have my mother's knee, so I don't run, but I do high incline for an hour, 6 days a week on top of weightlifting. And yeah, I mean, like, whatever, that's great. If you, if you have an injury or can't do much, then hey, just moving about, just walking. I mean, I can, but it's a unique curse. Even if you try to be as most accurate as possible, the best you can do is about 99%. Yeah, I mean, you can never be 100% right. Like, it's just not possible. You can and will get stuff wrong. It's just the way it is, right? And that's okay. Okay, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong, and it's okay to be ignorant because you don't know everything. You can't know everything. Right? Like there's a bunch of stuff that I'm ignorant on. That's why I'm reading. I got this book, a basic 101 dummy's introduction to taxation and how taxes work. Okay? Because I don't know everything about taxes and how taxes work, but hey, that's a little crash course to help me. Because I don't know everything. But that's the point.
it's cool to be fans of shows, right? Like, and we love that people are fans of the show. Please keep watching, but please don't let us not be the only show you watch or the only media you consume.
Now, obviously, you guys are watching me too here. It's wrong every day and grows every day. That's how it should be, because that is true.
Like,
also watch Harry Emden.
You better watch Harry Emden and read the paper, and good papers, right? Like, I mean,
Financial Times.
yeah, the Financial Times is good. I know that there's a lot of layoffs coming to the Washington Post. I still think of the legacy papers, they've done the best job in recent years. But yeah, I mean, read The Nation, read Slate. I mean, magazines are important too. So that's my
Anything.
advice on that front.
Right. And Tish James got arraigned here where I'm from today. That was happening here. So that's been fun.
It's absolutely insane.
Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it right there. Yeah, I agree. A lot of people just don't take the time to have. They don't take the time to think. I mean, it's not like everyone's expected to be some college level advanced, you know, scholar, right? Like no one's expecting everybody to be a college level scholar. Okay, but just to think, man, just to take 5 seconds to make sense of what's in front of you. You know? Grandma's everything was right about everything merch. So I told you folks that after that video, the video game conversation was going to be relevant. I mean, so there's so much stuff to unpack here. So the White House has put out, and the Department of Homeland Security has put out a couple of posts, a couple of Halo posts, after it was announced that the new Halo Combat or Campaign Evolved, as they call it, the remake of the first Halo that came out in 2001, is coming to PlayStation. So essentially, one of Microsoft's or Xbox big franchise, big IP is coming to PlayStation. So indicating a new era of essentially cross-platform gameplay. Okay, so all fair, all good, great, fantastic, right? New Sony players, Sony PlayStation players will now be able to play the original Halo 1 campaign in this remastered or remade. It's not a remaster. It's a completely remade version with new missions. Yada yada yada. So what does this have to do with anything? I don't know. The administration has decided to post an AI image of Trump as Master Chief, which first of all, the Spartans, he would never be a Spartan. Like it's just not possible. And the fact that they put him in a Spartan armor is ludicrous. Not to mention, they wouldn't be in front of a United States flag. They would be in front of a UNSC flag, because this would not be America. It'd be the United Nations Central Command or Space Command, the United Nations Space Command. Yeah, UNSC. It wouldn't be the American flag. All of this is ridiculous. But this post on the right is the one that I want to highlight here, because it is important to note that in the lore, in the video game story, so to speak, the flood, okay, because this is a Department of Homeland Security. This is a advertising for ICE. This is an advertising for ICE, and it says, finishing the fight, destroy the flood, join ICE, right? So for those of you that don't know, the flood in Halo, in this world, in this fake universe, the flood in Halo is a parasite. It's a parasite. They're comparing immigrants once again to parasites. And the only way to destroy the flood in the game, okay, is to destroy their food source. And the way you destroy the food source is to kill everything. Which kind of ties into the whole like fascist ideology, the whole fascist death cult. The only way to kill the flood in the game is effectively to take either take them all down on a molecular level, or starve their food source. Their food source is anything organic, so that means everybody's got to go, which kind of truly highlights the fascist. The fascist kind of death cult side of this whole thing, because there is no way that the person who made this at the Department of Homeland Security didn't know exactly what they were doing by posting that. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. Not surprising, but yes, disgusting. Somehow simultaneously laughably cringe and deathly genocidal at serious at the same time. Yeah, that's kind of been the theme of this whole administration, right? This is incredibly cringe, right? But like, whatever. Okay, I get the little like fascist rhetoric, but this doesn't. The one on the left here with Trump saluting like he's Master Chief. Okay, that is super cringe. It's this one that gets me. It's the destroy the flood thing as an ICE advertising, like basically saying like the flood, meaning the parasites, like you have to go. That those are the immigrants, right? Because that's presumably who's doing this, right? ICE is the immigration and customs enforcement, who's finishing the fight, which is a catchphrase, I guess, or little symbol of the game. And you are here to destroy the flood, right? That's why you want to join ICE, right? To destroy the flood. Well, who are the flood? Well, the immigrants, right? Or another way of putting it, the people who are poisoning the blood of our country, right? That's who. I remember that movie, Bozy. And the fact that this is being used as an ICE advertising, I mean, like Microsoft should immediately sue and have this taken down, because like it's one thing to post like an incredibly like grotesquely cringe AI meme or AI picture of the president. It's another thing to literally make an advertising to join the ICE thing. Using your IP. Yeah, just like seriously, be as aggressive as Nintendo. Jesus. You know, and I wish it was fake, but it's not. Like, I wish it was fake, but it's not. Here's the original from the White House account. This is the official White House Twitter account. King of Silver, thank you for the follow. And you don't hear effing peep from the infamously litigious in any other scenario Nintendo. Yep. Yep, that's right, Seth Evans. Aha. Where except when a cancer-riddled fan on the edge of death wants to use their IP or mother for their memorial, then these companies will jam your ass up with so many lawyers so fast. Yep. But, you know. Hey, welcome, Raiders. Thank you so much for the raid, No Justice MTG. Appreciate it. Hey, folks. Go show some love to twitch.tv/MTG Justice. No Justice MTG. And also follow their YouTube channel. Welcome, everybody. If you haven't seen me before, I'm a Difficult Truth. I do the news. I do the politics. We're here Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You can join this space for my show on Tuesdays. But I appreciate the raid and welcome, everybody. Welcome, Raiders. So this is the original post from the White House account. And this is the other post from the Homeland Security account. So it's not just screenshots that I put. These are legitimately posts that were put on the account. And it's pretty disgusting. Nice. Well, welcome, everybody. Guitar guy. Soul Life, welcome. It's 21st century Nazi shite. Yeah, of course. If you know what the meaning behind this is, as I was explaining earlier, then yeah, you would be very much disturbed and know what exactly this is being referenced. Do I even want to know what they mean by the flood? I explained it, so I'll explain it, Wolf Glenn. So basically, in the game, I'll recap. I'll do a quick recap. In the game, the Flood are a parasite, and that's pretty much all you need to know. So basically, like, they're saying that destroy the Flood. This is a nice advertisement. So essentially they're comparing immigrants to parasites that need to be destroyed. Are you a Demsock? I'm a lefty, lowercase l lefty. This looks like a screenshot from Halo Beta. Be welcome. Are you Letterhack's love child? I can't really speak on that. I can neither confirm nor deny that that statement. So that's what they're doing. Yeah, people of color, immigrants. Calling people trying to live their lives the flood parasite zombies makes me want to barf. Yeah, that's what they think of immigrants. That's what they think of. That's what they think of people of color who don't look like them. We're supposed to destroy the parasites, right? You know, I mean, we've only heard the president say that immigrants poison the blood of the country. So yeah. The person posting these things in the Department of Homeland Security, Twitter accounts and social media accounts, they absolutely know what they're doing. 100% they know what they're doing. 100%. Like, I don't know, like, if there's some, like, if they're like a die-hard like Halo fan like myself who have played this since 2001, but they know enough to specifically select the comparison and know about the flood and the story and the history behind the flood as far as the video game goes. They absolutely know, and this is like super Nazi coded, and it's on purpose. So the person that runs the Homeland Security account probably is like 99.999% chance that they are a Nazi. Yeah, Binder's brother. They believe in the great replacement theory. That's the rationale behind that. My mother, sister, and niece have lived in way more countries than I have, albeit mostly South America. Only my mother has lived in Cuba, though. That's actually cool. Right, he's Binder's oldest son. Yeah. Yeah. I have a younger brother. I have a younger brother now. Give yourself credit, Carlos. You are a lefty. Not just a lefty. I'm the lefty. Montague, thank you for the follow. I think the French guy behind the Great Replacement Theory is still alive and doing interviews. Gross. I didn't know that. Oh boy. Shifting gears, folks. Hey, speaking of, so, throughout the weekend, and I think a couple days now at this point, there has been more discourse, from the Steve Bannon, clip that I'm sure like 99% of you have already heard. Steve Bannon talk about Trump, asserting a third term, saying that, people are going to have to get comfortable with Trump being in office in 2028. Well, it's now the president himself is now continuing to talk that. I mean, he's been talking about it for years now. So just to be clear, the idea is not new. The idea is not new. He's been talking about this for a while. He's said multiple times that he deserves a redo-over. He deserves a third term. This is following the Steve Bannon clip where he did an interview. I think it was 60 Minutes. That he said that people are just gonna have to get comfortable with Trump being the president. So, anyways, yeah, what the F indeed? Donald Trump said on Monday today that he would rule out running for vice president in the 2020 election, an unorthodox approach that some of his supporters have floated to allow the president to serve a third term, which doesn't really work. But okay, I'd be allowed to do that, Trump said. That's very dubious. I wouldn't do that, but I think it's too cute. Yeah, I would rule that out because it's too cute. I think people wouldn't like that. It wouldn't be right. So let's just be clear. It's the only reason that Trump doesn't want to do it this way is because it means that he would be second fiddle. He would be second fiddle for a moment while the president at the time would relinquish the power. So he doesn't like that idea. So this is narcissism at play, because that's my guess. My guess is that he would not run as a vice president because he can't imagine himself being the second fiddle. It's unconstitutional, but he will not care. No, we're beyond that. We're beyond caring. I'm doubtful he'll live until 2028. Yeah, well. No one may be elected to presidency a third time according to this 22nd Amendment. Some have suggested that one way around this prohibition would be for Trump to stand in as vice president while another candidate stood for president, but then resigned, letting Trump to be number 2 to step up again and assume the presidency. Opponents have disputed whether this would be legal, referring to the possibility of a third term. However, Trump said he would love to do it. I have my best numbers ever, which obviously is delusional. The McDonald's diet is the new fountain of youth. That's also explicitly disallowed by the terms of the relevant term limiting amendment. Yep. Trump cannot legally run as vice president either. Yep. No, yeah, none of this is legal. It's just the kind of stuff that but he has, by the way, this is not even like the first time he's talked about this. When pressed by a reporter whether he was not ruling out a third term, he says, I'm not ruling it out. I mean, you have to tell me, which obviously he's playing coy here. All I can tell you is that we have a great group of people, which the Democrats, don't. Referring to J.D. Vance as and the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, Trump also said they were great people who could run for office. I mean, like, another way that they could do is just not care. No one's going to run for president just to hand it over. Yep. I do think if we ever formed a group, it'd be unstoppable. I really do. Believe that. The remarks are Trump's latest on the subject, which he had teased in public remarks at Trump 2028 hats he signed at the White House. He hands out at the White House. During the interview at the weekend, over the weekend, a former vice president and Democratic presidential nominee, Kamala Harris, who lost to Trump, said she was not done with politics and strongly suggested that she was considering another run for president and did not rule running out in 2028. Please don't. Meanwhile, Trump is making his longest journey abroad since yada yada yada. Anyways, so yeah, he's been teasing this stuff for a while, and it's highly unlikely that he's going to leave willingly. According to my understanding, if a president has had 2 presidential terms, he cannot run for president or vice president. Yeah. Legally, on paper, in black and white, technically, no. He should not be able to do this. Right, like, who's going to do anything about it? They brought and paid for by the courts, slavishly obedient, happy for them to prove me wrong at any point. The U.S. military, yeah, I mean, he has a right to feel, this way, because no one has stopped him as of right now. If you watch the way Trump's position on foreign policy jump around, you can see that he's not as dominant as he lets on. No, he's a buffoon, but unfortunately, he's a buffoon that is just smart enough to wield a flamethrower while he torches the country. Dems will let him run just so they can drag Obama out of retirement. Oh, please don't. If Trump finds a way to run for a third term, then GW can run against him. He's on the same age group as Trump. Jesus. Listen, I will not be in office in 2028. Let someone else do the job and let me live my best life before I die. Bro has like a few years. David Deneau, the recent Supreme Court decision to back up Trump's overreach of presidential authorities, big step close to dictatorship. Yeah. Today, Google search AI told me slaves didn't rebuild the White House after it burned down. I refreshed the page for unrelated reasons, and the AI said slaves did rebuild the White House. Fantastic. Fantastic. No, I don't think it'll stop him. I think that I think that if he were to really do this for real, there's going to be a it's going to take like actual people on the streets, direct action type stuff. Fascism has never been defeated by asking nicely. Fascism has never been defeated by asking nicely. Indiana's governor calls a special session to redraw the state's congressional boundaries. I think pretty much we can extirpate what's happening here. The Republican governor of Indiana said on Monday he's scheduling a special session to redraw congressional boundaries. Surprise, surprise, just in time for the midterms. Trump has pressed Republicans to draw new maps to give the party an easier path to maintain control of the House. While Republicans in Texas, Missouri, and North Carolina move quickly to enact new districts, Indiana lawmakers have been hesitant. Yeah. The White House held multiple meetings with Indiana lawmakers who have held out for months. The legislative leaders kept their cards as close as speculation swirled over whether the state, known for its more measured approach to Republican politics, would answer the redistricting call. Yeah, this is kind of like what is it? Like it doesn't exist. This is a unicorn. This is a unicorn. There's no such thing as a measured Republican approach. They all bend the knee. With the Supremacy Court, nothing is decided. Yep. Vice President J.D. Vance first met with Braun and legislative leaders in Indianapolis in August, and Trump met privately with State House Speaker Todd Huston and State Senate President Pro Tem Roderick Bray in the Oval Office. Vance also spoke to state lawmakers visiting Washington that day. So yeah, they're going to try to redo this, and several states are going to do this to try to give as much edge as possible to the Republican Party. Yeah. Sadly, though decided questions mean nothing to the Supreme Court, as we know. Remember when we were told Roe was decided? Was decided law and decided precedent? Remember that? Absolute filthy liar, but seems 100% believes the horseshit he's spouting. Alright, folks. It's about 10 to 7, so I'm gonna give myself a pat in the back. Why is this blocked? The way I described the SCOTUS as 5 block handsman and a little handmade from one of the cults inspired Atwood. Yeah, I think we looked it up who the cult was. People of Praise or something. Some weird cult. It was never law. Only President Obama ran on making it law. When he was elected, asked if he intended to use his supermajority. He said he had more important things to do. Yes. I mean, like, I was just quoting the Justice, Brett, I like beer Kavanaugh saying that it was settled law, and that that's all there was to it, right? It was settled law. Casey, Planned Parenthood versus Casey, established that even more as precedent, and kind of put that put that topic to bed. If I remember correctly, I'm paraphrasing. That's what I was referencing. People of Praise was sister cult of charismatic Catholics, and Atwood used one of these in New Jersey or something. Gotcha. Yeah. People of Praise. That's right. There's the links, folks. Oh, hey, where'd I go? That's right. That's right. All right, folks. there's the links, folks. If you want to support the channel directly, please consider checking out all the stuff. Merch, tip, Substack, Discord. This space on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Michael Hesser, for modding the chat. I appreciate it. Thank you, No Justice, for the raid. Appreciate all of you guys on the YouTube side as well. Yeah, no matter where you go, there you are. Thank you all. Thank you, Michael Hesser, for modding the chat. Thank you to all the new follows. Thank you once again. Big shout out to No Justice MTG. Thank you all for the hype train, the subscriptions, and all that. I appreciate it. Thank you. You guys are the real MVPs, all of you. Look at that. Thank you all. I appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow. And check us out, folks. We're here. We're here on the YouTube. We're here Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Do all the stuff. Press all the links. Hit all the subscribes and likes and comments and the shares and the, follows and the hearts and all that stuff. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Thank you, Ladybug. Thank you, Judgment Free Zone. Appreciate it. Thank you, BoZ. Thank you, YouTube. Bad Lefty, Soul Life, Poggers, Looney Tunes. Thank you. Appreciate it. Michael Hasser, Nadia, B-Cat, Moanep, SN Flunky, Seth Evans, John Lithium, Bad Lefty, Wolfgang. There's so many wonderful folks here. Judgment Free Zone. I was trying to say goodbye to everybody. Bipedal Meatbag. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's right. Subscribe. Yeah, B-Cat. Everybody, thank you. All right, folks, we're getting out of here. As always, folks, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. Love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. David Dinu. See ya. Ground level news. Hang tight, everybody. Hang tight. Hang tight, folks. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.